From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast with Wish TV's Kylie Conway. A Wish TV News 8 update.
Hi, this is Kylie Conway, and this is your News 8 Daily 8 for Thursday, July 28th. Some rain and storms are likely going to be ongoing for areas mainly to our south. Then we'll deal with on and off activity for the rest of the day. Highs look to get up to the low to mid 80s once again. A 17-year-old is in critical condition after a shooting on the city's northwest side. IMPD responded to a convenience store on North High School Road just north of 38th Street at midnight. Officers at the scene told News 8 that somebody pulled up in an SUV and shot the teen. Police haven't released any information on a potential suspect or what led to the shooting. And today, Republican leaders in the state Senate say Democrats will have another chance to offer amendments to the proposed abortion ban. The full Senate will debate the bill after refusing to hear testimony on a minority report. It's a rare procedural move, and it blocked any discussion of that minority report, and it sparked frustration with Democrats. The report included a proposal to extend the deadline for abortion in cases of rape or incest to 20 weeks and to provide religious exemptions. Senate Minority Leader Greg Taylor says this is a way to silence the people. He also tells News 8 he believes this means the Republicans don't have their own conservative support for the bill and shows a divide among the party despite their supermajority. Taylor also brought up the resignation of Republican State Senator Mike Young from the Senate Republican caucus. Young's office confirmed he did leave the caucus, but wouldn't comment if it was related to disagreements over the abortion bill. Now we know that Democrats had the chance to discuss the abortion ban bill for 2 days during hearings. The debate on the amendments picks back up in the full Senate at 1:30 this afternoon. The lawyer for the Indianapolis doctor who performed an abortion on a 10-year-old rape victim says the Indiana Attorney General has launched a formal investigation. Kathleen Delaney says her office received the notice of Todd Rokita's inquiry into Dr. Caitlin Bernard on Tuesday. Delaney says it's reviewing the information and that the nature of the investigation is unclear. Rokita has said he would investigate Bernard for potential failure to report the abortion and possible violation of patient privacy laws. Documents from the Indiana State Department of Health show Bernard reported the procedure as required. Bernard's attorneys filed a tort claim last week, the first steps towards suing Rokita for defamation. And sentences are in for 2 more former Minneapolis police officers involved in the deadly arrest of George Floyd. A federal judge sentenced To Tao and J. Alexander Kung yesterday for violating Floyd's civil rights. Tao gets 3.5 years. He held back a crowd of bystanders as Derek Chauvin pinned Floyd to the ground with a knee on Floyd's neck. Kung gets 3 years. Investigators say he helped Chauvin restrain Floyd. Both still face a state trial in October. Chauvin is serving a 22-year sentence for murder. The accused shooter in the attack on a July 4th parade faces 117 charges. The mass shooting killed 7 people and wounded dozens more. The indictment from a grand jury in Illinois lists 21 murder charges, 48 counts of attempted murder, and 48 charges of aggravated battery. Conviction would bring life in prison. Illinois does not have the death penalty. Investigators say the shooter climbed onto a roof in Highland Park and opened fire on the parade below. Prosecutors say the shooter admits he did it. He's due back in court next Wednesday. Secretary of State Antony Blinken says he'll speak with Russia about a deal to bring jailed Americans Brittany Griner and Paul Whelan home. Blinken announced a proposed prisoner swap yesterday. An exclusive CNN report states the Biden administration is willing to trade convicted Russian arms dealer Victor Bout for Griner and Whelan. This could signal the White House's growing acceptance of prisoner swaps, particularly after an April trade secured the release of Marine veteran Trevor Reed. The proposed deal comes after Griner testified at her trial. She said she had no intentions of smuggling drugs into the country. She said when she was stopped, she was told to sign different documents without fully understanding what they were. To business headlines, JetBlue is buying Spirit Airlines in a $3.8 billion deal, a day after Spirit and Frontier Airlines agreed to abandon their merger proposal. JetBlue will acquire Spirit for $33.50 a share in cash, including a prepayment of $2.50 per share in cash payable once Spirit stockholders approve the transaction. There's also a ticking fee of 10 cents per month starting January 2023 through closing. Gross domestic product, the broadest measure of the U.S. economy, will be out today. The economy stands at least a fair chance of hitting the rule of thumb recession definition of 2 consecutive quarters with negative GDP readings, although many economists believe we may see slight growth. Meanwhile, the Federal Reserve hiked its second consecutive 0.75 percentage point interest rate increase. The move makes credit cards and car loans more expensive in hopes we don't spend as much, and that will slow down inflation. Consumers are cutting back on their flights, and that may be driving airfares lower. U.S. airline bookings fell 2.8% in June, compared with May, based on data collected by Adobe Analytics. Online spending on tickets fell 5.7% to $7.9 billion over the same period. This means consumers who are looking for better deals on flights may have more luck in the next few months than in the spring. Leaked documents say Amazon may hold another Prime Day event in October. Insider says the new 2-day sales bonanza in October is called the Prime Early Access Sale. No dates are set yet. And Sprite is retiring its green plastic bottles after more than 60 years. Coca-Cola said it's changing the packaging from green to clear plastic beginning August 1st as part of broader efforts to become more environmentally responsible. Today, a phone call between the leaders of the United States and China. The Biden administration says President Biden and Xi Jinping will discuss potential areas of cooperation, but that Biden will also address areas of friction, including China's unwillingness to condemn Russia for its war against Ukraine and China's policies and practices in Taiwan. The call comes at a time of increased tension over reports that House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is considering a visit to Taiwan. She would be the first House Speaker to visit the country in 25 years. And attorneys for Chip Ganassi Racing and Alex Palou are set to meet next week over their messy contract fight. We first broke the news of Ganassi's lawsuit against its own driver on Daybreak yesterday. Online court records now show a 10 a.m. hearing for Monday morning. Both Ganassi and McLaren Racing believe they have Palou, the reigning IndyCar champ, signed for next season. Tweets are central to the lawsuit, which was filed Monday. Earlier this month, Ganassi said it signed Palou for 2023. Hours later, Palou tweeted he had no intention of returning and that he signed with McLaren. Ganassi has requested a court date before the end of August. Palou is still set to race for Ganassi at the Brickyard on Saturday. This has been your News 8 Daily 8 for Wish TV. I'm Kylie Conway, online at wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook when you search Wish TV.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast with Wish TV's Kylie Conway. A Wish TV News 8 update on demand for even more on demand and on the go. Connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening. And be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.